of India. Sajjano, hello, hello, Sajjano. Namaskar. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to everyone present here. And happy Republic Day. My husband, Master Swaminathan, my colleagues, and I would like to welcome all of you on the 73rd Republic Day of India. As has been my practice, before I read Rashtrapati Ji's speech, I would like to give you a brief overview of developments in India-Thailand relations since we last met here on Independence Day. Sadly, we continue to be in the midst of the most disruptive event in recent world history, which is the COVID-19 pandemic. Countries across the world are now dealing with the third or the fourth wave. With some crises, which all countries in the world are dealing with, particularly those that are large, populous, open, and federal democracies. Significantly, in India, our vaccine rollout that began about a year ago has resulted in 162.9 crore, as far as the figures of yesterday are concerned, being administered. More than 65% of the population is fully vaccinated, and more than 90% have got a single dose. Children from 15 to 18 years are also getting vaccinated. Since January this year, health workers and those over 60 years are also getting precautionary or booster doses. Our vaccine production is able to meet all our domestic needs. Besides, we have now resumed our exports to the COVAX global facility as well as bilaterally. While our economy, like that of all countries, has faced challenges, we are now seeing a very strong signs of a recovery. Recent estimates indicate a growth of 9.2% in the current financial year. Many major schemes have been launched by the Government of India, including production-linked incentive schemes across many sectors to increase manufacturing. This has also led to excess production and therefore a great spurt in merchandise exports. An excellent startup ecosystem in the country has led to the creation of 44 unicorns in 2021. As far as India's relations with Thailand is concerned, at the outset, I would like to congratulate the people of Thailand because the Government of India has conferred the Padma Shri on Achan Chirapat Prapandavidya, the doyen of Sanskrit studies in Thailand. So a round of applause. That's great credit, of course, to Achan Chirapat, but also to the people of Thailand who have continued to show such great interest in our linguistic ties. So our relations with Thailand, of course, is multifaceted. It's a partnership which continues to grow from strength to strength. Trade and commerce is, of course, at the heart of our relationship, and I'm delighted to inform you that according to the figures which were released recently by the Thai Ministry of Commerce, they are still waiting for our own figures because that will come towards March. Our bilateral trade in 2021 surpassed all expectations, and it has amounted to $14.94 billion, which has crossed all previous records. It has registered, in fact, if you just compare 2020, which is not a very good year to compare, of course, but more than 50%. And in fact, it's far higher than our previous high of 2018, when it was a little over $12 billion. The embassy, of course, has been active as ever, with almost weekly events, which are usually held in a hybrid manner. We had a wonderful Maitri Divas event jointly with the Embassy of Bangladesh in December last year. The we've had academic seminars, we celebrated Constitution Day, we celebrated the Rashtriya Ekta Week, we had, of course, a wonderful celebration for Vishwa Hindi Divas, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, the National Youth Day, and 2 days ago we celebrated Parakram Divas to honor the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Our cultural center has been conducting classes regularly and holding also cultural programs both virtually as well as in a hybrid manner. Several outreach events, commercial, tourism, consular have been conducted. I have myself led outreach events in Chiang Mai, in Ubon Ratchathani, in Phuket. My colleagues have been doing so in Khon Kaen, in Pattaya. We have disbursed grants and aid to several societies and high universities which have been doing excellent work in furthering our bilateral friendship and understanding. This year is a special year, of course, in India-Thailand relations because we are also celebrating, in addition to our 75th anniversary of our independence, also we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Thailand. So just a few days ago, on the 12th of January, in fact, the joint logo contest was launched. We hope that a large number of entries from both Thai nationals as well as Indian nationals, both here in Thailand as well as in India, will be received by us. We're planning several events, of course, cultural, academic, commercial, film festivals, food festivals, exhibitions, etc. And towards the end of the year, there will be a joint postal stamp which will be released. Naturally, all these events are also contingent upon the COVID-19 situation. So the scale of these events will be determined by that. But you can be rest assured that we will continue to be as active as ever. As I've mentioned earlier, this year we're also celebrating the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The Government of India recently declared that from this year onwards, Republic Day celebrations will begin on the 23rd of January, Netaji's birth anniversary, to honor Netaji's great contribution to India's national and freedom movement. Netaji, of course, has a very special bond with Thailand and with the Indian community here, who contributed so spontaneously and so generously with their time, their money, their service to the cause of India's freedom. He visited Thailand 8 times, and in fact, his final departure was from Bangkok, and his last photograph, which he had photographed, was given here in Bangkok, and we have a copy of that in the photo exhibition that we have displayed outside, and I hope you will spend some time having a look at it. It was in Thailand that there was a very special, camp for the Azad Hind Forge in Chonburi. Recently, there were representatives of those who were very closely linked with that, which was recorded by our Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center. And I hope you look at these recordings because they are really useful. They're great as institutional memory, as a recording of history. And we're very happy, of course, that the Thai Bharat Cultural Lodge, which is the oldest bilateral friendship society, is continuing to do the good work under the leadership, incidentally, of Dr. Chirapat Prapandavidya and many stalwarts of the Indian community here in Thailand. Recently, as many of you would know, Honorable Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat address also mentioned, 2 scholars from Thailand, which also included Dr. Chirapat for his contribution to Sanskrit studies here. In fact, very recently, the Silpakorn University launched a wonderful Sanskrit course, 100 hours online Sanskrit course, and I was honored to be part of the inaugural session. And I'm sure such initiatives will really, further, strengthen our linguistic and cultural bonds. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Indian community of Thailand for all the support and cooperation which has been extended to the embassy's activities, and for, of course, the unstinted welfare of the community. Perhaps the best example of that approach is that of Shri Gurmukh Singh Sachdev, who is here in our midst, who established the Indian Association of Thailand, and despite his advancing years, continues to take an active interest in philanthropy, both in Thailand and India. So बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद गुरमुख सिंह जी for your presence here. हम आपके आभारी हैं, and we really thank you for taking the time out and coming here to this event. So once again, thank you, धन्यवाद. Now I shall proceed to read from Rashtrapati ji's speech, which was delivered last evening. Of course, I will be reading extracts. We have copies of these, and of course, it's also available online for those who are interested. प्यारे देशवासियों, नमस्कार। 73वें गणतंत्र दिवस की पूर्व संध्या पर देश और विदेश में रहने वाले आप सभी भारत के लोगों को मेरी हार्दिक बधाई। सन 1950 में आज के दिन हम सब की इस गौरवशाली पहचान को औपचारिक स्वरूप प्राप्त हुआ था। उस दिन भारत विश्व के सबसे बड़े गणतंत्र के रूप में स्थापित हुआ और हम भारत के लोगों ने एक ऐसा संविधान लागू किया जो हमारी सामूहिक चेतना का जीवन दस्तावेज है। हर साल गणतंत्र दिवस के दिन हम अपने गतिशील लोकतंत्र तथा राष्ट्रीय एकता की भावना का उत्सव मनाते हैं। महामारी के कारण इस वर्ष के उत्सव में धूमधाम भले ही कुछ कम है, परंतु हमारी भावना हमेशा की तरह सशक्त है। Let us also remember the great freedom fighters who showed incomparable courage in their pursuit of the dream of Swaraj and fired up the people to fight for it. 2 days ago, on 23rd January, all of us observed the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who had adopted the energizing salutation of Jai Hind. His quest for independence and his ambition to make India proud inspired all of us. We are immensely fortunate that the Constituent Assembly, which prepared a document, included some of the best minds of their generation. While the text of the Constitution dealing with the details of the working of the state is quite long, the preamble sums up its guiding principles: democracy, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. These are the values that form our collective inheritance. Values have been accorded primacy in our Constitution in the form of fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Rights and duties are two sides of the same coin. The observance of the fundamental duties mentioned in the Constitution by the citizens creates the proper environment for enjoyment of fundamental rights. The Constitution of India was enacted and adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949. It was made effective 2 months later. This was done to mark that day in 1930 when India resolved to win complete freedom. From 1930 to 1947, every year, 26 January was celebrated as Purna Swaraj Day. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi had advised fellow citizens how Purna Swaraj Day was to be celebrated. He had said, and I quote, "Remember that since we desire to attain our end by non-violent and truthful means only, we can do so only through self-purification. We should therefore devote the day to doing such constructive work as lies in our power to do so." The world has never been in so much need of help as now. It has been over 2 years now, and humankind is still battling with the coronavirus. प्यारे देशवासियों, महामारी का सामना करना भारत में अपेक्षाकृत अधिक कठिन होना ही था। हमारे देश में जनसंख्या का घनत्व बहुत ज्यादा है और विकासशील अर्थव्यवस्था होने के नाते हमारे पास इस अदृश्य शत्रु से लड़ने के लिए उपयुक्त स्तर पर बुनियादी ढांचा तथा आवश्यक संसाधन पर्याप्त मात्रा में उपलब्ध नहीं थे। लेकिन ऐसे कठिन समय में भी किसी राष्ट्र की संघर्ष करने की क्षमता निखरती है। मुझे यह कहते हुए गर्व का अनुभव होता है कि हमने कोरोना वायरस के खिलाफ असाधारण दृढ़ संकल्प और कार्य क्षमता का प्रदर्शन किया था। पहले वर्ष के दौरान ही हमने स्वास्थ्य सेवा के बुनियादी ढांचे को विस्तृत तथा मजबूत बनाया और दूसरे देशों की मदद के लिए भी आगे बढ़े। दूसरे वर्ष तक हमने स्वदेशी टीके विकसित कर दिए और विश्व इतिहास में सबसे बड़ा टीकाकरण अभियान शुरू कर दिया। यह अभियान तेज गति से आगे बढ़ रहा है। हमने अनेक देशों को वैक्सीन तथा चिकित्सा संबंधी अन्य सुविधाएं प्रदान कराई हैं। भारत के इस योगदान की वैश्विक संगठनों ने सराहना की है। There have been setbacks, unfortunately, as the virus makes a comeback with new mutations. As the pandemic is still widespread, we must remain alert. Wearing masks and maintaining social distancing have been essential parts of COVID appropriate behavior. In the fight against the COVID pandemic, it has now become a secret national duty of every citizen to follow the precautions suggested by our scientists and experts. A time of crisis has also made us appreciate how we all Indians are connected as one family. Doctors, nurses, and paramedics have risen to the challenge, working long hours in difficult conditions, even at the risk of their lives, to attend to patients. Others have kept the nation moving, managing supply chains and utilities. The leadership, policymakers, administrators, and others at the central and state levels have made timely interventions. Due to such interventions, the economy is on the move again. This shows the success of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan launched in the previous year. The government has shown relentless focus on reforming every economic sector and providing a helping hand wherever necessary. Small and medium enterprises have played an important role in providing employment to people and imparting impetus to the economy. Our innovative young entrepreneurs have set new benchmarks of success by making effective use of the startup ecosystem. It's a testimony to the success of our country's massive and robust digital payment platform that millions of digital transactions are being done every month. To reap the democratic dividend, the government has created the right environment with a national education policy that makes a perfect blend of traditional values and modern skills. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past year, our sportspersons also brought cheers as they made their mark at the Olympics. In recent months, I have witnessed remarkable examples of our people strengthening the country and our society through their commitment and action in diverse areas. However, I will mention only two instances. The dedicated team of the Indian Navy and Cochin Shipyard Limited have built an indigenous state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, IAC Vikrant, which is to be inducted into our Navy. Due to such modern military capabilities, India is now counted among the world's leading naval powers. This is an impressive example of moving towards self-reliance in the field of defense. In this context, I would like to share a personal experience with all of you. I had the privilege of visiting my birthplace, that is my village, Parong, at Kanpur, Dehat district in the month of June last year. On reaching there, I naturally felt the urge to express respect for the sacred soil of my village and applied it on my forehead because I believe that I have been able to reach Rashtrapati Bhavan only due to the blessings of my village. Wherever in the world I may be, my village and my country remain in my heart. I request the people of India who are successful in life due to the hard work and talent to always remember their roots, their village, town, or city. Also, all of you must serve your place of birth and your country in whatever way you can. If all the successful people of India work sincerely for the development of their birthplaces, then the whole country will benefit from the outcome of such local development. Dear fellow citizens, it is thanks to the constant vigil of the armed forces securing our borders and the police personnel maintaining internal security within the country that their fellow citizens enjoy peaceful life. Last month, in an unfortunate accident, we lost one of the bravest commanders of the country, General Bipin Rawat, his wife, and many brave soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, as a Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, I'm glad to note that it has been a watershed year for women empowerment in the Armed Forces. Our daughters have broken a glass ceiling and permanent commission has now been allowed for women officers in new areas. I'm confident that India is better placed today to meet the challenges of the future. The 21st century is turning out to be the age of climate change, and India has taken a leadership position on the world stage in showing the way, especially with its bold and ambitious push for renewable energy. Dear fellow citizens, this year India will cross a milestone when it completes 75 years of independence. We are celebrating this occasion as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. प्यारे देशवासियों, हमारी सभ्यता प्राचीन है, परंतु हमारा ये गणतंत्र नवीन है। राष्ट्र निर्माण हमारे लिए निरंतर चलने वाला एक अभियान है। जब हमने आजादी हासिल की थी, उस समय तक औपनिवेशिक शासन के शोषण ने हमें और गरीबी की स्थिति में डाल दिया था, लेकिन उसके बाद के 75 वर्षों में हमने प्रभावशाली प्रगति की है। मुझे विश्वास है कि उसी ऊर्जा, आत्मविश्वास और उद्यमशीलता के साथ हमारा देश प्रगति पथ पर आगे बढ़ता रहेगा तथा अपनी क्षमताओं के अनुरूप विश्व समुदाय में अपना अग्रणी संस्था अवश्य प्राप्त करेगा। I once again wish all of you a happy Republic Day. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Her Excellency Ambassador Madam, for addressing the gathering and reading out the President's message. कोरोना ने हम सबको बड़ा परेशान किया है, लेकिन क्योंकि हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं इसलिए परेशान हो नहीं सकते, क्योंकि मुश्किलों में मुस्कुराना जानते हैं, हौसला है, आजमाना जानते हैं. Now we proceed towards the cultural performances. I request Miss Ravinder Kaur and Miss Supriya Arora to please come on the stage to sing a patriotic song, Desh Rangila. As we can read from the title of this song basically showcases different colors of natural and cultural richness and diversity that India has been blessed with. So please welcome Miss Supriya Arora and Miss Ravinder Kaur for this patriotic song.
Sure.
Thank you, Ms. Ravinder Kaur ji and Ms. Shubhriya Arora ji इस देश रंगीला जैसे शानदार गीत के लिए. And now there will be a Bharatnatyam dance performance. Mid Aarti Juthani will be performing this Bharatnatyam dance. This piece is a thematic representation of verses by famous poet and patriot Mahakavi Subramanyam Bharatiyar. So please welcome Ms. Aarti Juthani for the Bharatnatyam performance.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, शक्ति तू कमिला कंडिते शक्ति अमृतलिंद कलिवे शक्ति आन्मै निरैंद निरैवे शक्ति सिंहम मुदिंद मुदिवे शक्ति एन्नत्तिरुमुनिये शक्ति सार्वगणो सहिवे शक्ति सेवगणो सिलवे शक्ति सुनिवे
Thank you, Ms. Aarti Juthani ji, for this nice performance. And now we have another song performance, as Ambassador Madam told us in her address, that this year we have been celebrating the 23rd January as the Parakram Divas, which is the 125th birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose ji. So now I invite Ms. Ravinder Kaur and Ms. Supriya Arora ji to sing a patriotic song, Kadam Kadam Padhaye Ja, Khushi Ke Geet Gaye Ja. This song has been taken from a biopic based on the life of Sri Subhash Chandra Bose ji. It beautifully depicts life and selfless service of Subhash Chandra Bose to India. Please welcome Ms. Ravinder Kaur and Ms. Supriya Arora for this song.
असंख्य प्रेम बंधन बढ़ाएगा मुझे जिंदा आगे बढ़ बनने से तो कभी न डर बुढ़ा के दुश्मनों को असंख्य प्रेम बंधन बढ़ाएगा कदम कदम बढ़ाएगा खुशी के गीत गाएगा ये जिंदगी में कौन की कौन नहीं लुटाएगा कदम कदम बढ़ाएगा चलो दिल्ली पुकार के पानी निशान संभाल के लाल किले बिगाड़ के लहराए जा लहराए जा चलो दिल्ली पुकार के पानी निशान संभाल के लाल किले बिगाड़ के लहराए जा लहराए जा कदम कदम बढ़ाए खुशी के गीत गाएगा ये जिंदगी में कौम पे लुटाएगा कदम कदम बढ़ाएगा खुशी के गीत गाएगा ये जिंदगी है कौम पे लुटाएगा कदम कदम बढ़ाएगा खुशी के गीत गाएगा कदम कदम बढ़ाएगा खुशी के गीत गाएगा ये जिंदगी है कौम पे लुटाएगा ये जिंदगी है कौम पे लुटाएगा ये जिंदगी है कौम पे लुटाएगा
ये जिंदगी है कौम की, कौम पर लुटाए जा, कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, खुशी के गीत गाए जा. Thank you, Ms. Ravinder Kaur ji and Ms. Shubhriya Arora ji for this nice patriotic song. And now it's our pleasure to have Sri Gurmukh Singh Sachdev ji here. His outstanding contribution deserves all appreciation. Born in 1931, Sri Sachdev ji had a humble beginning of his life, but through his hard work and perseverance, he achieved the zenith of success. He has the spirit of giving back to the society. He is leading many philanthropic works like schools, medical centers, and other charitable trusts. He has also been presented the Red Cross pin by Queen Mother for his donating blood more than 100 times, which is truly incredible. May I now request Her Excellency Ambassador Madam and Ambassador Swaminathan Sir to please honor him with a certificate and shawl. May I now invite Sri Gurmukh Singh Sachdev ji on the stage to receive the honor from Ambassador Swaminathan Sir and Ambassador Madam. Thank you, Ambassador Madam. Thank you, Ambassador Swaminathan sir. And congratulations, Sri Gurmukh Singh Sachdev ji, that you are so fit at this age of more than 90 years. It is a lesson for us and also a challenge for us that we can keep ourselves so fit even at this age. This Republic Day is special as this has been preceded by the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji. We celebrated his birthday as Parakram Divas. We have organized an exhibition on Netaji and Azad Hind Fauj and their connection with Thailand. Before leaving, all guests may have a look at the exhibition placed in the entrance hall. We also have an exhibition by Royal Enfield and Bajaj. So all are requested to have a look at their exhibition also. Thus, we come to the conclusion of this program. Many thanks to you all who have attended this program physically as well as digitally. I hope you all have enjoyed this celebration of 73rd Republic Day of India. We have some refreshment. This time it is a takeaway. I request you to please collect your refreshment before leaving. Once again, thank you very much for coming and attending this ceremony. Thank you. Jai Hind. All may please have a look at exhibition on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and that of Royal Enfield and Bajaj Auto. And we thank you, Royal Enfield and